Special purpose framework. Special purpose frameworks are other frameworks or rules available that can be used by an organization depending कि वो उसको यूज करने के लिए एलिजिबल है. फॉर एग्जांपल कैश बेसिस अकाउंटिंग. हैव यू गाइस हर्ड ऑफ कैश बेसिस अकाउंटिंग? Yes. Okay. The other examples of special purpose frameworks are, the first is cash basis accounting, second is tax basis, third is regulatory basis, fourth we will also discuss regulatory, but general use can also be possible, and last is contractual basis. Okay, so there are various organizations or companies in USA which use the different frameworks as per their requirement. Those other frameworks or special purpose frameworks are cash basis framework, tax basis, regulatory basis, regulatory basis that can be used for general purpose also, and contractual basis. Okay, so we have to audit as per GAAP. Generally, the financial statements we audited are prepared according to GAAP, but sometimes other reporting frameworks can also be used. Okay, auditor must have to check and write and report the purpose for which those frameworks are used. In case of cash basis, we do not have to describe the purpose for which the cash basis of accounting is used. Similarly with tax basis too. But in cases of regulatory basis and contractual basis, we have to specify the purpose behind using those frameworks. Who will decide the purpose? Who will check if those reporting frameworks can be used? Management or auditor? Management. Okay. The second thing we need to check if we have to put an emphasis of meta paragraph or not. Do we have to put an emphasis of meta paragraph? Yes. Why? Because we are using framework other than which generally used by the organization. We are using special purpose framework. So we have to specify or refer to the notes to accounts, which is mentioning the special purpose framework we use and how it is different from GAAP. In cases of cash-based accounting, we have to use that. We have to use EOM paragraph. In cases of tax basis, regulatory and contractual too. But in cases of regulatory framework, which can also be used for general purpose, we don't have to use emphasis of meta paragraph. Can anyone guess why? Why we don't have to use EOM paragraph in case of regulatory framework, which can also be used for general purpose? Because it is generally acceptable, we can say because it can be used by general users too. So यहाँ से अगला पॉइंट निकल के आता है ओपिनियन का. In case of cash basis financial reporting framework, single opinion is required. You have to give a single opinion on the financial statement. Similarly, in case of tax basis and regulatory basis and contractual basis too. But in case of regulatory basis, which can also be used for general purpose too, we have to give two opinions because those financial statements are valid as per GAAP as well as per regulatory framework. So we have to give two opinions. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. So now the last thing is restrictive use. Uses of audit report can be restricted, but in case of cash based and tax basis, there is no need to restrict the use of financial statement. But in case of regulatory basis and contractual basis, we have to restrict the use of financial statements. Here we don't need to restrict. In case of regulatory and contractual basis too. But what about regulatory basis which can also be used by general users? Do we need to restrict the use or not? In that case, do we need to restrict the use of financial statements or not? Because those financial can be used by general users too. That's why we don't have to restrict the use of financial statements. Is that correct? Any questions? Because those financial statements are prepared using special frameworks that are regulatory basis and contractual basis, which cannot be, which other users might not be able to understand. Only a specific set of users who have knowledge about those regulations or those field can understand those reports. That's why the use has to be restricted. Okay. But since in this case, this report or financial statement is prepared so that it can be used by general public too, its use need not to be restricted. Okay. Or is the question without? Okay. Now the question is why auditing financial statements which are prepared using special purpose framework? Auditor की responsibilities में क्या change आता है? What extra auditor need to do if he has to report, he has to give report on financial statements that are prepared on the basis of special purpose framework. First, he need to understand why those special purpose frameworks are used. He has to get the basic general understanding of those financial reporting frameworks. What is the purpose behind implementing them? He might have to get management to clarify that they are taking the responsibility for checking those financial reporting frameworks if they are eligible to use those frameworks and that they prepare their financial statement as per the rules of special purpose framework. Okay, so auditor can audit the financial statements prepared on the basis of special purpose framework, but he has to get the basic understanding of those frameworks. He has to check the purpose for which those frameworks are used. He has to get management representation that they agree that they are responsible for checking if they are eligible to use those financial reporting framework and they prepare their financial statements as per those special purpose framework. Okay, they also need to get representation from management specifying that they put all the disclosures required as per the framework. They also have to check if there is a notes to account which is specifying the financial statement purpose used, how it is different from GAAP. And basically, the terminology used for the financial statements as per special purpose framework has to be different from which we use in case of statements are prepared according to GAAP. Okay. So what auditor needs to do? He can audit the financial statement prepared as per special purpose framework, but उसे check करना है कि purpose क्या है. He has to get the general understanding. Representation from management that management is the one who is responsible for preparing financial statements as per the special purpose framework and checking the eligibility. They have to clearly make all the disclosures required as per special purpose framework. Management has to put a note to the accounts specifying the special purpose framework used and how it is different from GAAP. Okay. Any questions? Anyone any question? ओके, सो बात है रिपोर्ट की। रिपोर्ट में क्या चेंजेस हो जाएंगे? क्या मैनेजमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज में कुछ चेंज आएगा? डू वी नीड टू चेंज एनीथिंग इन मैनेजमेंट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पैराग्राफ इन आवर ऑडिट रिपोर्ट? Okay, Pradeep is saying yes. What do Biswa Mishra is saying no? Why? Do you think if we are auditing the financial statements prepared as per special purpose framework, in that case the management responsibility paragraph has to state that management is responsible for identifying the special purpose framework used and they applied that framework to prepare the financial statements and disclosed all the disclosures required. We need to change the paragraph to state that financial statements are prepared as per the special purpose framework. Okay. Introduction paragraph में भी change आएगा? Will there be any change in introductory paragraph? I guess yes. वहां पे भी हमें financial statements के नाम change करने पड़ेंगे. Opinion में कोई change आएगा? What about opinion? Yes. Opinion में क्या change आएगा? It will be stated like that we are giving opinion the set of financial statements prepared as per special purpose framework का नाम rather than gap. Is that clear? Okay. So, in case of regulatory purpose framework in which it can be used for general purpose, we have to give two opinions. So, only in that case, the report has two opinion paragraphs. Okay. We can check the sample report. It is given at page number 281. Page number 281. Yes. In page number 281, you can see the report prepared of special purpose framework in accordance with cash basis. As you can see in the introductory paragraph, it is written that we have audited the accompanying financial statements of ABC Partnership, which comprises a statement of assets and liabilities. We are not using the term balance sheet because as per cash basis, the term which is used is statement of assets and liabilities arising from cash transactions as of December 31st, 20XX and related statement of revenue. We are not using profit and loss account or income statement. So if we are auditing financial statements which are prepared as per special purpose framework, the change in introductory paragraph is the name of financial statements. Okay. In case of management responsibility paragraph, you can see that we have used the acceptable basis line in the third line. That this includes determining the cash basis accounting is an acceptable basis. Now it is the responsibility of management to decide that the framework we use is acceptable. We are eligible to use that. So this is the change in management responsibility paragraph. There is no change in auditor responsibility paragraph. We have to audit as per gaps like we usually or generally do. Okay. The final change is in your opinion paragraph, where we are clearly specifying that in our opinion, financial statement refers to above presented fairly in all material respect. उसके बाद में the name of financial statement is changed. We are not writing balance sheet or income statement. Okay. And at last we are adding a paragraph to basis of accounting, where we are referring to the notes to the financial statement, which is describing the special purpose framework used and how it is different from GAAP. Okay. Any doubt with report कि कहाँ पे क्या क्या चेंजेस है? सिर्फ तीन जगह पे चेंजेस हैं. इंट्रोडक्टरी पैराग्राफ में नाम चेंज होगा स्टेटमेंट्स का. मैनेजमेंट रिस्पांसिबिलिटी पैराग्राफ में मैनेजमेंट की रिस्पांसिबिलिटी में एक एडिशन हो रहा है कि मैनेजमेंट इज रिस्पांसिबल फॉर चेकिंग इफ द स्पेशल पर्पस फ्रेमवर्क यूज इज एक्सेप्टेबल और नॉट. Opinion paragraph में change होगा the name of financial statement that we audited and we have to add a basis of accounting paragraph which is basically referring to notes to the account which is describing the special purpose framework used and how it is different from GAAP. Any question? Okay. At next page, you can see the report prepared for financial statements in accordance with regulatory basis. यहाँ पे कुछ डिफरेंस नहीं है, बट रेगुलेटरी बेसिस के केस में वी हैव टू रेस्ट्रिक्ट द यूज। तो स्टार्टिंग के पैराग्राफ में सेम चेंज है व्हिच वाज इन कैश बेसिस, कैश इन केस ऑफ कैश बेसिस, बट an extra paragraph which is for restrictive use is added to the report. As you can see, our report is intended for solely for the information of the use of ABC city and any state, and is not intended to be and should not be used by anyone other than those specified party. So in case of regulatory basis and contractual basis, we have to restrict our report. So a restricted use paragraph is added at the end of the report. Okay. But there is a report in which we have to give two opinions. That is reports for financial statements prepared on the basis of regulatory basis, but also can be used for general purpose. That report is on the next page where you can see there are two opinion paragraphs. Are you guys seeing your book at page number 283? Page number 283, report. Okay. So as you can see, at the end of the report, there are basically no restricted use paragraph because regulatory framework plus general purpose can be used by everyone. So there is no restricted use paragraph, but there are two opinion paragraphs. One opinion paragraph is opinion on the basis of regulatory framework that we use, and one is as per generally accepted accounting principles. So in case of reports that can be used by everyone, we have to give two opinions. Okay, and it is also possible that both of them cannot be same. Our opinion would be unmodified as per one of the framework and can be qualified or adverse because of other. Okay, because if we are following regulatory framework, it might be possible, must be possible that we are not following all the rules of GAAP. So our opinion, if given on the basis of GAAP, will go towards adverse or qualified even if the statements are fairly stated on the basis of regulatory framework. Is that possible? Is it possible कि एक framework के हिसाब से हमारी statements fairly stated और एक के हिसाब से they are not? Anjali is saying no. Okay. Example से करते हैं इसको. Let's say in case of a regulatory framework, when calculating depreciation, as per regulatory framework, you can take 100% of depreciation in the year of purchase. Okay. In case of regulatory framework, you can take 100% of depreciation in the first year or the year in which you put the asset to use. But as per GAAP, this is not true. We prepare the financial statements as per regulatory framework. So when we will give our opinion on the financial statements, in case of regulatory framework, it would be unmodified because we use the correct rule. But if we give the opinion as per GAAP, by checking if the statements are prepared as per GAAP, our opinion would be qualified or adverse depending on the effect of those specific accounts. So yes, it is possible. Is it clear now, Anjali? It might be possible कि एक framework के हिसाब से हमारी financial statement सही बनी हो और एक के हिसाब से they are different, they are not fairly stated, they are not correct. Anyone else किसी और को इस बात पे डाउट है कि how is it possible that there are two different opinions on same financial statements? Okay. So in case of reports prepared for special purpose framework, the major change is in the introductory paragraph, management responsibility paragraph, and opinion paragraph. In case the report is restricted, a restricted use paragraph is added. Basis of opinion paragraph is also added, which refers to the note to the financial statement. जहाँ पे ये मेंशन है कि हमने कौन सा स्पेशल पर्पस फ्रेमवर्क यूज किया and how it is different from GAAP. In case of restricted use report, in case of regulatory framework, plus the report can be used for general purpose. We have to give two opinions. One opinion on the basis of regulatory framework and one opinion on the basis of financial statement prepared as per GAAP. Okay. So the next thing is there are various companies which have subsidiaries in different countries. In that case, we might have to issue an audit report for that specific country's users. Is it possible that we might have to prepare a report that can be used by people outside of US?